Yo, okay, Hotep, Aqua, bless up, greetings, I'm back again. Welcome back to the Recovery Room of Racism Non-Anonymous. A.C.T, ACT. This is Abena'S Conspiracy Theory here at Abena'S World at AFREEKALive.com, coming to you live and in person, sharing myself, my story, my gifts, my skills, my spirit in this revolutionary struggle for liberation for the African descendants. I am Abena, and I am a recovering African enslaved in America, and I am a representative from the voices in the margins. I am also true to the cause of African liberation via unification, utilizing the tool of healthy and effective communication. I'm gonna, I'm always building on my own words and my own thoughts and, theories. I told Nana AFREEKAN when we traveled to Ghana. It was in 2009 I went, right? When I met her at the airport, one of the first things she asked me was something to the effect of, you're thinking, or you're thinking, and I said always. That was just my response, always, because I am always thinking. I am deep. I am a deep thinker. I accept that. I love it about me. It does also have a downside in that it seems to intimidate people because of the deepness that my deepness. At any rate, A.C.T. This is Abena'S Conspiracy Theory. I recently have seen Jesse Ventura. Have you seen the Jesse Ventura Conspiracy Theory series that's on cable now? And when I first saw it, I thought it was so very interesting. It seemed, I sensed a lot of staging, especially at the end when they say, Jesse, it's just conspiracy theory, and he's exposing the government and all of their shit. And it's like, how will you get that deep into all of their shit, and they will allow their shit to be spread out? One of the things that this system, how it now sustains itself is, it is self-sustaining, in that it has been sort of successful with establishing what is needed to protect itself and to continue. Now, if you check out some of the folks at counterracism.com.org, yet folks from the counter-racist camp, if you will, and Nilly Fuller, who talks and teaches about, the system of racism, white supremacy, and the four stages of it, and one of them and final is certainly the sustaining of it. You will learn more about, that whole process. At any rate, because that is a fact, and because it's in place, for me it would seem highly, if you will, unlikely that the government would sort of so freely allow Jesse Ventura to have this all be broadcast, and they can dig that deep, and people are willing to share secrets and shit on camera, for the world to see. And then I look at the dynamic of, the pairing. I talked in another video a little bit ago about how I see the black man and the white woman being paired on newscasts. If you notice, all newscasts, roughly about the past 5 years, there's always, it's paired, black and white, either a white man and a black woman or a black man and a white woman. More often than not, on the major broadcast place like CNN, ABC, NBC, and all those, you will see a black man and a white woman paired. I am seeing more and more very dark-skinned women, and they're paired with white men, and they're also dressed up with the European look in terms of the straight flowing hair, and, at any rate, this is I'm going to be offering some series that I call Abena'S Conspiracy Theory, ACT. Because I am about acting up at this point in terms of you know, allowing my voice to be heard, sharing my voice my way, the best way that I can, whether, you know, you accept it or reject it. I come, I share, you accept or reject, and I keep it flipping moving. I will feel the pains, and I will talk about it when I feel it, and the injustices, and, you know, I will practice this program of Racism Not Anonymous, this 12-step program, this program of recovery. I will practice working to identify and express my feelings in relationship to you, our interactions, whoever we are, you know, and wherever we engage, whether we engage over the internet in this fashion or face-to-face in person, or, you know, over the phone. I will let you know. I will work to practice healthy and effective communication. I will ask questions for clarity. I will work to assure that what I am saying, what I intend to say, is received in the way that it was intended to be received. I will work to do that, and I know that because I work to do that, that intimidates people. People are very afraid of that. It's certainly not the norm, and I understand that. And I also understand that people who have experienced early and adverse experiences in their childhood, and that childhood includes your individual life, your individual childhood, and your individual family, as well as the collective, our African sort of childhood here in America. Coming here as sort of as children, not knowing the language of the land, not knowing, you know, the foods of the land, the terrain. In that regard, that dynamic, we were children. And as such, you know, the European became our socio-emotional parents. And that was also another dynamic type process. Yeah, so, you know, I could get into the music and use the music certainly to help me tell my story. And because I like the music because it does help tell your story, and it supports, you know, active and expression of the feeling. You know, when you sing a song where anger, you know, hostility is being expressed, you can feel it and you can express it in all of your being, you know. So it doesn't sort of begin to get stored in your system and in our systems and our organ and our memories and so forth. And that's why it becomes helpful and useful to externalize the stinky poo, share your story, remember and tell the damn truth about some terrible events. That's, you know, another reason why that becomes crucial. And even in my dealings and interactions with you, I will work to tell the truth. I will remember and tell the truth, the whole truth. My thoughts about it and my feelings about it. And I know that that's difficult for many of us because we have been programmed to suppress feelings and suppress emotion, marginalize, minimize, control those emotions. You know, and it's, for me, it's the energy and motion that keeps me moving and up and going. And see, feelings are not facts. They come and they go. Energy and motion. Earlier today and yesterday, I was feeling so sad, hurt, and depressed. I didn't want to talk to none of you mofos. I was shutting everything down. I wasn't going to do nothing. And it passed. And it passed. And I learned from it. And here I am back again. You know, feeling more solid, strong, secure in myself, who I am, what I'm doing, and how I'm doing it. Doing the best I can with what I have. You know, and I was really leery of Facebook because I never wanted to get on Facebook, and I understand, you know, just in terms of the government monitoring of Facebook, and, you know, because I do have a plantation gig, you know, and I use that for my economic survival right now till something else comes along. Aside from that, I do it because I enjoy doing it and because I value what I do being there for the people. I want to be there for the people surviving in poverty. I work in a public nonprofit organization where people who are on public assistance and welfare, the people in the margins, the masses of the people, where they go for treatment. And to be there for them, knowing that I am a lone voice for them, knowing that I am a lone listening ear, that I'm a lone spirit who gives a fuck about them, who really does care about them, and they know that's true, who really understands them, and who is really well positioned, experientially, educationally, professionally, culturally, to assist them. And so that's why I go with this, the primary reason. And then, yes, it gives me what I need to be able to sustain my basic needs. Because, I don't have it like, I haven't put in that kind of work even still. So I understand and I respect that as well. I respect the scholars who wrote the books and who stayed in them educational, them halls of academia and got their PhD, because I'm getting that PhD and I'm like, this is some fucking bullshit. Wait a minute. In order for me to be successful with getting this, I have to think this way and put this aside and watch the people suffer. In the meantime, I'm having a hard time with it. Can we do both of this shit at the same time? I have some things to say about this. Yet when I say them things about that, that's not allowed. And I have to say it, and I have to say it in a particular way in order for it to be accepted. And, for me I suppose it wasn't in the cards right then. I still have not, as long as I have breath in my body, I believe that it certainly is a possibility that I will actually get a degree, according to the society, and then I may garner a little bit more respect from you all. This seems like a pretty nice little roll, but it seems like I've been talking for at least 20 minutes, so I'm going to stop now. And until next time, this has been another episode of Abena'S World. It's 1:35-ish or so a.m. now on Saturday morning, November the 27th. Yes. Yes.
I'm for the poor and the needy, who ain't got it easy. Miss, I want it all, you want to take it all. Why are you moving so greedy?